Hey guys, Gossiping Reactions Marie's take. Is $50 an hour the new middle class? This Florida man on TikTok says Americans can no longer survive on $2,300 per month. Thinks wages for college grads are out of whack. Is he right? Let's see what's going on. If you thought $15 an hour was a leap for US minimum wage, wait until you hear how much this TikTok creator thinks you need to earn to be part of the coveted middle class. Freddie Smith went viral this week for asking a controversial question on TikTok. Is $50 an hour the new middle class wage? I strongly believe so. But would the employer pay you that? Heck no. Even though you do the job right, you work for 3 people, they will not give you $50 an hour, even though you deserve it, okay? And you're making them billions and millions of dollars. The Orlando-based realtor said that many people he knows work job requiring bachelor's degree and master's degree, yet they only earn $17 per hour, $5 more than the Florida's current $12 minimum wage, according to the U.S. Department of Labor. People cannot survive, he says. That's what's out of whack, more than inflation. Comments on his video were split. Someone pointed out that it depends where you live for how far your wage can go. Another person said they make $50 per hour and are broke. How long now? It depends what you spend your money on. We have to be careful on that. So is Smith right? Do you really need $50 an hour to live a middle class life in the US? Here is how the math stacks up. In his video, Smith calculates what $17 per hour gets you. One thing he calculates is that $17 hour comes to a total of $2,300 a month after tax. He isn't too far off. You'll make around $2,720 before taxes at the lower income wage of $17 per hour, which comes to $32,640 per year before taxes. The salary puts this hypothetical person in a federal tax bracket of 12% according to the IRS. If the hypothetical person lives in Florida, like Smith, they won't have to pay a state income tax according to the Florida Department of Revenue. So the person's take-home pay every month after the 12% federal tax comes to $2,393.60. Comparatively, the middle income wage, $50 per hour, comes out to an annual salary of $96,000 before tax, and you fall into the 22% federal tax bracket. After tax, you'll end up with $6,240 every month, which is way much better. Let's see how these two salaries stack up when you consider the monthly expenses Smith highlights in his video: shelter, food, and childcare. Housing. Smith's estimate assumes a hypothetical rent of $2,000 a month. He isn't too far off. Rental platform Zumper reported that the median rent for a one-bedroom in the U.S. is $1,505. If you own a home, the average U.S. mortgage payment is $2,317 a month, according to a 2023 LendingTree survey. This would essentially put home ownership out of reach for the lower wage worker, but is possible for a middle wage worker. However, there is a growing trend of rich Americans who are ditching their plans of home ownership in favor of renting, in part due to high home price and mortgage rates. If you think about the old adage that says housing shouldn't be more than 30% of your income, then you can see the impact high housing costs are having on the budgets of lower wage workers, and how, by that classic benchmark, many middle income workers are now rent burden as well. We are suffering. Everybody's feeling the pain. Food. When it comes to food, in his video, Smith estimates that food costs $1,000 a month. This number is accurate if you assume multiple people are living in the household, but for one person, it appeared to be an overestimation. If you are a couple, you have your partner and you have kids, trust me, it is that much and more. According to a recent survey from moving company Move.org, the average monthly cost of food per person comes to $415.53. This means that lower or middle wage workers could at least put food on the table. Even so, the BLS reports that food has jumped 8.4% since 2021, and people are feeling it. Over 60% of Americans are struggling with putting food on the table, according to a 2023 report from research company Attest. Over 9% of people have a lot of difficulty affording food, but over 50% only have difficulty some of the time, which tracks with the average food cost above. Okay. Childcare. When it comes to childcare, Smith says that parents pay around $2,000 a month for childcare. He's not totally off, but it's around $833.33 per month, with childcare costing on average $10,000 per child per year. Even though numbers above for food and shelter assume a person lives alone, childcare means that there is at least one more person in the household, and that contributes to higher household costs outside of just childcare. Just that $833 for childcare is too high a cost for that lower wage worker to shoulder alone, and even for a worker earning almost 3 times as much, it's still a significant portion of their monthly income. However, if you factor in paying for 2 kids at the average rate of $1,666 or 3 kids $2,499, then you are starting to see how a lower income worker can't afford to put their kids in childcare. Even a middle wage worker would be spending nearly half their paycheck on childcare if they have 3 kids. It's crazy, man. So does it add up? Just accounting for the average cost of rent for a 1-bedroom, food for 1 person, and childcare for 1 kid, your total expense would come to around $2,753.86. Assuming the monthly income stated in the above examples, that worker making $17 an hour will not be able to cover basic living expenses on their income alone. Someone's making what Smith dubs the new middle class wage of $50 an hour, around $6,000 a month, can survive, save some money, and have some fun. $50, yeah. So it seems that Smith is in fact on to something, even if his own estimates swing high. The data shows a person cannot shoulder the country's average monthly expense alone if they make $17 an hour and childcare is involved. Even without the add childcare costs, the average single American living alone would only be left with a few $100s for anything outside of food and shelter, including other bills like utilities and car insurance or any emergency expenses that might caught up. This also means other possible monthly budget comes like paying off debt or stashing away money in a saving account could be out of reach completely. And even those earning higher income are increasingly unable to do more than live paycheck to paycheck. And I'm so glad Smith came out with this so people can realize, I don't care how much you're paying me right now, it's just not enough. It's not enough. People are living paycheck to paycheck. rent goes up, food goes up, car insurance go up, gas up. So how are we supposed to make it? And we're making your company better, we're making your life better, but you're not thinking about us doing 2 to 3 jobs and you're not paying us the right pay. Again, thank you, Smith, for bringing this out. It is not easy. We're trying the best we can to make it, but people are struggling out here. Subscribe and let me know how you feel. Bye.